Hi, my name is Matt Ackerson. I am the founder of Petovera. Petovera is the place where you can learn about how to build a sales engine. What is a sales engine? A sales engine helps you to get more traffic, grow your leads, and grow your bottom line for both the short and the long term. So let's dig into today's article, 8 Great Habits That Accelerate Your Online Marketing Strategy. I'm going to give a brief overview, and then if you want to get more into the nitty-gritty, I really recommend that you check out the specific bullet points under each step in the article below this video. So what is the first habit? Habit number 1, write 1,000 words per day. So I'm a big fan of Nathan Barry, and I recently read a few of his blog posts about how he disciplined himself to literally write 1,000 words per day, and that doesn't count email. And as a result, Nathan was actually not only able to put out high quality blog posts, guest blog posts, but also 2 popular books on app design as well as building authority. So I really admire Nathan's habit for doing that, and that's why I listed it as the first habit here. And in addition, I actually adopted this habit myself, and I'm already seeing great results. You can see some examples of what I mean by that under habit number 1. Habit number 2, learn by observing what works for others. So just as I actually observed the habit at work in Nathan Barry's case, you should look at other marketers and other popular blogs and companies in your niche and learn what are they doing that's actually working really well. And the keys that I found to doing that right overall are consistency, quality of content, and being relevant and valuable. Now, these are particularly relevant if you are pursuing a content marketing strategy. Obviously, there's other things outside of that, but that's what I'm focused on for that habit. Habit number 3, tweak your sales engine weekly. Now, I put in a quote here from one of my favorite shows, House of Cards. Kevin Spacey's character said, "To change is to improve, and to change often is to perfect." And in this case, I really agree with that quote. And under this habit, I talk a lot about the difference between macro and micro changes, and how when you're just starting out, when maybe you're just kind of getting your website and your blog off the ground, your email newsletter, you really want to focus on those macro changes because those are going to have the biggest impact. Micro changes are smaller tests. Let's say you have maybe 500 or 1,000 visits a month, or even 2,000 visits a month to your website or blog. Running an A/B test with that sort of traffic, it's going to take you a long time to get a result, and it's really not worth your time to set it up. So instead, focus on tactics that are going to get you a faster result and that are based on more so proven principles and that you might see already working for others. Something like retargeting, for instance. Habit number 4, send a weekly newsletter. So once a week, I have this habit personally. I've been sending out a newsletter once every Thursday, and a lot of people don't adopt this type of habit. And I think mainly it's not because they're lazy. I think that'd be an oversimplification of it. But I think people worry about, will I annoy people? What if I make a mistake or a typo? I can't hit undo when you're sending an email, for instance. And who would want to hear about what I have to say? Why am I relevant? I'm not even sure what to say. But really, the long-term benefits of writing an email newsletter. Number 1, you're going to get better at writing within the first few weeks. That's a given. And those short-term concerns are really trumped by the real, tangible, long-term benefits, assuming you're putting out valuable content, of actually sending the newsletter on a regular basis. So my idea for actually sending this newsletter once a week was actually inspired by a friend of mine Again, going back to habit 3, or rather habit 2, which is learn by observing what works for others. My friend Brennan Dunn, he puts out a weekly newsletter, and his results in the last 2 years have been nothing short of spectacular. He started at 0, and he has an email list now of over 10,000 subscribers, and he's getting an average of 40 to 50 new subscribers per day right now. Habit number 5, exercise your creativity. Write down 3 to 5 marketing ideas a day. So this one's pretty straightforward. You just want to kind of get a notebook and brainstorm, let the ideas kind of flow. Don't be too picky. Don't try to censor yourself. Write down the list of ideas. Pick out maybe 1 or 2 that you think you can realistically execute on within the next month. The point of this exercise isn't to try to get everything done that you write down. It's really about just kind of making sure you keep your creative muscle strong so that in the long term, as competition increases within your niche, and it's going to increase for all niches as more and more companies and brands and people get educated about how to do inbound marketing, how to build their own sales engines, and how to do content marketing, email marketing, etc. Competition will increase, so creativity and being original with your content is going to become more and more necessary. So that's the point of forming this habit. Habit number 6, observe what is working for you. Observe what is already working for you and focus on scaling the peaks. So I give a really great example of what I meant here, and I also threw in an interview that I found on YouTube with Noah Kagan, and he talks about how he built his email list of over 600,000 subscribers for his business AppSumo. But the more personal example that I want to talk about from my own experience was the second blog post that I wrote this year, which was a guide on how to build the perfect landing page, essentially. That got us 400% the amount of traffic compared to every other blog post that I've written so far this year. So I wanted to go back and I wanted to figure out how can I take this, this peak in our analytics and repeat that sort of result again and again and again. And I talk more in depth. I won't get into it too much here because I want to keep this video short, but I talk about it in depth in the article below this video. I talk about, how do I generate ideas for similar blog posts? How do I validate and lower the risk? And not only that, but like, how do I analyze, what was it that actually worked? And namely, in this case, it was just the level of detail, the level of research, and just really the overall quality of the article itself. It was over 5,000 words, actually. Habit number 7, send at least 5 emails a day to complete strangers. And the point of doing this is that you want to continuously be growing your network, even if you're not going out to a networking event that's in your local city or your hometown on a daily or weekly basis. At least with this habit, you're making new connections, connections that, as long as you're strategic about it, it's not just going to be adding contacts to your to your database, your email list, or you're not just looking to make friends, I guess is what I'm really trying to say. If you're strategic about it, you can achieve pretty much any result, any business result that you want, such as getting more social media followers, guest blogging opportunities, referrals, newsletter subscribers, etc. And under that point in the article, I actually give you a quick step-by-step process on how to do it right in the case of, let's say, you want to find guest blogging opportunities. And overall, this habit, just like the newsletter habit, it's good for just getting used to putting yourself out there and getting over any sort of fear or apprehension associated with that. So let's move on to habit number 8, the last habit. Post relevant content to your social media channels. So this one, I really kind of hated doing this at first, and I did it off and on, but I'm getting back into it now, especially after I did this really fascinating interview with a good friend of mine that I'm coming out with next week. So if you want to see that and how he built his Facebook page up to 28,000 likes in 3 months organically at approximately 200 likes per day, definitely subscribe to our newsletter and I'll send you that next week. But anyway, I'm getting back into it because I saw my friend succeeded at doing this. So now the habit that I'm forming around this is I'm going to be posting, relevant content, links, and just some personal anecdotes throughout the week to my different, to Pedovero's different social media channels. And again, the point of this is to, number one, you want to stay top of mind with your target audience. You're looking to further educate and give people value and be kind of a resource and a source of news and valuable content. I also recommend some useful tools in the article there under the bullet points. But those are the 8 habits. And if you have your own habits that you feel you've been using that have worked really well for you, definitely post a comment directly below this video. And make sure to subscribe to our once a week newsletter. We put out one awesome blog post just like this once a week. Sometimes I do 1 or 2 extra articles, but it's always guaranteed to just be one email. So not spamming you, not overloading your inbox, and it's coming out once every Thursday. So definitely subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video and of the article. Thanks.